All right, this is Rachel Short with the Sewing Loft of Avon hand stitching silk panels. So, Rach, why is it necessary to hand stitch silk and not just use a machine?
Well, because silk is incredibly delicate. It can crease even if you stare at it funny. So when you run it through the machine, you've got more opportunities for it to crease. Every time the panel leaves the table, it'll crease, it'll shift. So the more you can leave the silk on the table without moving it, the better. Depending on your blind hemmer, you don't want to get any. Occasionally it can maybe leak a drop of oil, a tiny, tiny drop, and on silk that'll spread kind of like a flower. It'll bloom, so to speak. I can also leave track marks depending on your machine. And because a blind hemmer has many stitches close together, they're like, very close, and you can see these are all over an inch apart. That can cause the silk to pucker. Silk is so delicate that it really needs to be treated with care. So if you, and also when you stitch down a line with the machine, what's called take-up occurs, and that tends to shrink the fabric every little bit, and every time that fabric shrinks, by the time it gets to the top of the panel, you're going to result in some puckers, especially on silk. So not on every material by any means, but on silk you don't want to take the chance, especially because generally silk is super expensive. So it's better to do it by hand. Then you don't have to move the panel, you don't have any take-up, you don't have any marks or creases, and you've got a perfect finished product.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate the education that you have just given us. Thank you very much,
You're welcome.
Rach.
I hope it was useful.
All right.